Thousands of trekkers attempt Nepal's Annapurna Circuit every year. Many walk away with memories of a lifetime. But for some, the same mistakes can turn an incredible adventure into a miserable experience, or even force them off the trail completely. Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you're new here, we're Rachel and Eve, and we've been traveling full-time since November 2025. And on this channel, we share our experiences, adventures, and the lessons that we learn along the way. Today, we are going to talk about Nepal's Annapurna Circuit, and we're going to review the 15 most common mistakes so that you can make the most of your time on the trail. After completing the trek ourselves, we saw people battling altitude sickness, running out of cash, carrying way too much gear, and rushing through one of the world's most beautiful trails. So, we made a list of everything we learned, and we're going to share it with you so that you can avoid some common errors. But first, as always, we're going to start with an orientation. The Annapurna Circuit is one of Nepal's most iconic treks, stretching approximately 160 kilometers through the heart of the Himalayas. Located about 7 to 8 hours from Kathmandu by road, most trekkers begin their journey in Besahar, Jagat, or Chame, depending on their itinerary. The trail winds through lush forest, deep river valleys, and traditional mountain villages. As you gain elevation, you'll pass through settlements like Pisang and Manang, where dramatic Himalayan views begin to dominate the landscape. Some trekkers choose to make a side trip to Talicho Lake, one of the highest lakes in the world, before continuing toward Thorong Peti and the circuit's highest point, Thorong La Pass, at 5,416 meters. After crossing the pass, the route descends into the arid landscapes of the Mustang region. Many hikers stop at the sacred town of Muktanath before ending their trek in Jomson, completing one of the world's most unforgettable mountain adventures. Okay, so let's talk about these mistakes. We're going to start with things that you can think about before you even step foot on the trail, and then we'll shift into mistakes that people make while they're actually trekking. Mistake number 1, not training beforehand. This may seem obvious, but don't underestimate the Annapurna Circuit. A lot of the locals actually told us that it was harder than Everest Base Camp for one reason: the ups and the downs. And the biggest challenge isn't one difficult day. It's hiking day after day, including after the hard ones. There are times you're walking up intense hills for an hour or several, and the downhills are just as brutal. The Annapurna Circuit is going to test you physically and mentally. So no, you don't need to be an elite athlete to do this trek, but you do need to come prepared. What does prepared look like? Looks like walking, training up hills, doing the stair stepper, and make sure to train on consecutive days so that you're prepared to hike day after day. And don't forget to train in your gear, including your backpack. Mistake number 2 is not having reasonable expectations about the tea houses. Many trekkers go in with simply the wrong expectations. I did too. There's a lot of trekkers who actually expect too much. Hotel-style accommodations, endless hot showers, access to Wi-Fi, towels, hygiene products. And others, like me, expect the bare minimum. Cold showers, no Wi-Fi, no products, no towels, blankets. The honest answer, it's somewhere in between. Tea houses are simple, and amenities can become more limited as you gain elevation. But we had access to Wi-Fi and showers most places we went. The tea houses often had great social spaces. There's no heat or air conditioning, but some of the higher ones had fires. The food menu has varied options. Think rice, noodles, pizza, burgers. But it is generally the same across the trek. And the lower villages tend to have more amenities, like shops and cafes. It's also important, if you go unguided, to know that you have to manage your own tea house reservations, and they don't typically take them in advance. So even if you go guided, some guides will do same-day reservations as well. And we saw that happen, and unfortunately the tea houses were full and they had to keep climbing. So keep that in mind when you're trekking, if you're going independent or your guide is making same-day reservations, that maybe earlier is better. Earlier you get there, higher likelihood you'll get a reservation. Mistake number 3, poor footwear choices. The Annapurna Circuit is not the place to break in new boots or go cheap on shoes, because blisters can make a wonderful trek a miserable one. And broken shoes can stop you in your trek. So what do I mean by broken in? Broken in boots are boots that have been walked in. At least a couple weeks, but I'd give it a couple of months. And you don't want boots on their last legs either. Honestly, my boots barely made it. I was crossing my fingers and toes those last few days that they weren't gonna break and stop my trek. So, make sure your shoes are comfortable, tested, and ready for long days on uneven terrain. Mistake number 4, carrying too much weight. While we're on the topic of gear, let's talk about the most common mistake, overpacking. So many people simply overpack. Extra clothes, extra electronics, extra just-in-case items. Every kilogram feels heavier as the days go on. I did so much research before starting the trek because this was my first extended hike, and I was shocked by how many people recommended 2 pairs of trekking pants, one short sleeve shirt, 1 long sleeve shirt. But then I did the trek, and I realized the 4 pairs of trekking pants that I brought, totally unnecessary. And other trekkers seem to say the same thing, that they only used a fraction of the things that they carried. So what do you actually need? The essentials. Layers, medications, a few hygiene products, the basic electronics. We go into full details on our blog, and we also gave you a list in the description section. Mistake number 5, not bringing enough cash. When we talk about things to bring, cash is a big one. There are very few ATMs on the trail. Most places only take cash, and the higher you go, the higher the prices are. Food, accommodation, charging electronics, hot showers, and Wi-Fi can all add up. So bring more cash than you think you need. We've seen recommendations anywhere from $25 US per day to 50, depending on your appetite and your needs. For us, we did a fully guided tour, so accommodations and food, it was all included. So we actually spent very little on the trek itself. If you want to know more about that experience, be sure to check out our full video here. Mistake number 6, not downloading offline maps. Downloading offline maps is easy, simple, and highly recommended. The trails are well marked, and in peak season, you can expect to see people. But we trekked in mid-May, and the trails were sometimes empty for hours. I remember one time we were trekking from Upper Pasang to Manang, and a solo trekker flagged us down to ask for directions and how far the next village was. Offline maps can help with route planning, tracking progress, locating villages, and providing peace of mind if weather conditions change. It's a relatively simple thing to do, and it can literally be a lifeline. Mistake number 7, not buying travel insurance. Thankfully, this isn't something that we witnessed firsthand, but the reality is medical treatment or helicopter evacuations in the Himalayas is going to be expensive. So while most trekkers never have to use their insurance, this is absolutely something that you don't want to skip. And a lot of companies actually require it. So if you're doing a guided tour, it might be something they ask for. Okay, that's a lot of pre-trail advice. Let's talk about the mistakes that people make on the trail itself, which leads me to mistake number 8, hiking too far and too fast. So many trekkers make the error of treating the Annapurna Circuit like a race. Many people try to cover as much distance as possible each day, or take jeeps deep into the circuit to save time. And while this might seem efficient, your body needs time to adapt to the increasing altitude. We personally saw this so many times. Like this one couple who was trying to hike from Chiang to Manang, which is 1,000-meter elevation. And due to symptoms of altitude sickness, they were forced to turn around midway. The bottom line, the faster you gain elevation, the greater your risk of altitude sickness. From day 1, even when the trail was pretty flat, our guide kept reminding us to slow down, saying it's mountain time. It was some of the most valuable advice he gave us. And honestly, what makes the Annapurna Circuit so special are the views and the villages. And you're going to miss that if you're trying to go too fast. Mistake number 9, skipping acclimatization days. This goes hand in hand with hiking too fast, but because acclimatization days are critical, deserves its own category. Many trekkers skip the extra day in Manang because they feel fine, or they're tight on time. Unfortunately, the problem is that altitude sickness often doesn't show up immediately. You can feel great one day and struggle the next. Taking an acclimatization day gives your body a chance to adjust before heading higher. And remember, the higher you go, the fewer resources there are. Mistake number 10, ignoring the signs of altitude sickness. This goes hand in hand with going too far too fast and skipping acclimatization days, because those two mistakes can put you at risk for altitude sickness. So mistake number 10, don't ignore the signs. We saw hikers again and again trying to convince themselves that they were okay. I'm just tired. I feel dizzy. I'm a little fatigued. I'll be fine tomorrow. These aren't symptoms to push through. They could be warning signs. Like when I was on the way to Talicho Base Camp and I lost my appetite. My guide immediately checked me for oxygen and my heart rate levels, and he continued to monitor me throughout the night. And that's something I'm so thankful for. If you don't feel good, the best thing you can do is decrease your altitude. Go down and rest. Taking the extra time can save you money, save your trip, but most importantly, save your life. And some people opt to take altitude sickness medication. That's something you can absolutely look into. Just always consult with your physician first. Mistake number 11, not eating or drinking enough. Unfortunately, a common mistake is not eating sufficient calories or drinking enough to maintain hydration. Meals on the trail are huge, and for good reason. The higher you go, the more your body is working. It needs that fuel. But as you gain elevation, your appetite often decreases, even without altitude sickness. So even when you're not hungry, keep eating. Even when you're not thirsty, keep drinking. And a great addition to your packing gear is rehydration tablets and water purification tablets, so you can make sure you're hydrated the whole time. Mistake number 12, starting the trek too late in the day. This is one we actually saw a lot of. People were arriving too late after starting their trek in the mid-morning. And so in general, when we think about mountain times, afternoons bring stronger winds, changing weather, and cloudier conditions. Starting early allows you to hike in cooler temperatures, arrive at your destination earlier, and enjoy better visibility. And remember, if you're going unguided, it also allows you time to enjoy the trek and arrive early enough to still book accommodation for the night. We usually left around 7 or 7:30 most days of our trek, and the morning times were some of our favorites on the mountain. Mistake number 13, poor timing on Thorong La Pass. Mistake number 13 is a big one. Thorong La Pass is the highest point on the circuit and one of the most challenging days. Many first-time trekkers underestimate how long the crossing actually takes, and not just arriving at the top, but the long trek down the mountain as well. Starting too late can mean stronger winds, more difficult or unpredictable conditions, and a much longer day than expected. Most trekkers leave at sunrise for a reason. Mistake number 14, underestimating how cold it gets. Even during trekking season, temperatures near the pass can get well below freezing. For us, being mid-May, our sleeping bags often felt warm at night. But outside of sleeping, in the early mornings or evening time, you'd find us in long sleeves, our down jackets, and beanies. So yes, pack light, but pack right. Don't skimp on cold weather gear, like gloves and beanies, because the temperatures up on the pass can be brutally cold, even during trekking season. And finally, mistake number 15, don't try and keep up with faster hikers. Annapurna Circuit is not a competition. You'll meet ultra-fit trekkers who seem to fly up the trail. Don't let their pace influence yours. The Annapurna Circuit is beautiful. If you're taking the time to do this trek, enjoy it and do so safely. The Annapurna Circuit was one of the most rewarding adventures we've ever experienced. We hope that knowing these mistakes can help you plan a successful and safe trek. If you're planning to visit the Annapurna Circuit or you found this video helpful, let us know in the comments. And for more details and travel inspiration, be sure to check out our website at riworldtravel.com, and don't forget to subscribe to follow along on our journey. We'll see you next time.